Hey everybody, it's Gary Lucas. It's 3 p.m. here in New York City. And I want to first off just say thank you so much to all the people on Facebook who saw the notice of my mother's passing very tragically a couple of days ago, well, yesterday morning. And it means so much to me that you would take the time to write something. And I'm trying to thank every one of you, but give me a few days. And, anyway, I'm trying to stay positive. We should all stay positive in the face of whatever catastrophe is next. But, I prefer to think that we're just coming out of a bad patch here. So I'd like to open with a piece called Secret Wings, which was on a record I did with a fantastic male singer, Jan Close. This came out a couple of years ago under the title Lucas Close, and the name of the album was Stereopticon. And this is one of my favorite songs, and also Caroline's. I wish Jan was here to sing it with me right now. So this is the instrumental version of Secret Wings. Here's another song goes back some years with another great singer I worked with, Emily Duff, who is really a fantastic vocalist. And it's funny how we met after Jeff and I parted ways. I was just walking in the West Village one day, and a young woman came up to me and said, "You're Gary Lucas." I said, "Yes." "I am Emily Duff, and I'm a great singer." And I said, "Really?" She said, "Yeah, and I think I should sing with you." So I said, "Well, here's my card, which had my address on it. Please send me a tape or something." She said, "Okay, I will." And I never got anything. And a couple of months later, I was at the Angelica Theater with Caroline for a matinee, and Emily was there, and she came up to me and said, "I'm going to send you that tape." So I said, "Please do." And I got this tape in the mail shortly thereafter, and it was phenomenal. It was like really rock and blues in a traditional style, but really soulful. So I rang her up and I said, "Yeah, okay, I'd love to integrate you into the group," because at that time I had a couple of different lead singers in the band. Richard Barone was one, great Richard Barone, and Dina Emerson, a great avant-garde vocalist who worked with Meredith Monk. So Emily joined the troupe, let's say. That's how I could call this version of Gods and Monsters. And we did a lot of shows together at the Mercury Lounge, particularly. That was sort of our roost here in New York. And anyway, so here's one called It's So Easy, which we did at their anniversary show a year or so ago here. Okay, Emily's got a new album out with Eric Ambel, Roscoe. Check that out. I really want to hear it. And I know Jan has a new solo album he's just released. Also, I got to hear this thing. But two great singers who passed through the ranks of Gods and Monsters. I'm going to just switch guitars here for a moment. I was supposed to be doing a 40th anniversary Gods and Monsters show on April 27th, and my special guest was going to be the great Joan Osborne, who is certainly one of the finest vocalists around and a great songwriter in her own right. And Joan and I hooked up for her Relish album, thanks to the producer Rick Chertoff. I'd like to give a shout out to Rick Chertoff and Greg Geller at Epic A&R. Rick at Columbia A&R were very supportive of me early on in my career, for which I'm very grateful. And anyway, so this is a song it's a song called Spider Web. And it was based around an instrumental I'd written already, but I'll do that instrumental modified version. You'll get the idea here on my Fender Strat from 1966 here. Yes, it's a little Fantasia on Spiderweb here. All right, we got Lulu just shaking her harness and Caroline over there reading. And, well, let's see now. I wanted to, I got a good idea. I'm switching to my Chinese National Steel guitar. This is, if you're following these mini concerts, I was made a gift of this guitar made in Shanghai. It's a Jonathan, and it's from the Shanghai Rematch Company based in Shanghai, China. I came across this thanks to my friend Phil Mango and my nephew Max Green at the NAMM show in Anaheim about 2 years ago. All the Chinese instrument manufacturers were huddled in a kind of a ghetto area in the basement of the convention center. But in playing these guitars, I found them to be extremely high quality and a fraction of the price of well, I don't want to name any names here, but anyway, I played some Chinese music for them and said, yeah, I'd really love to get a guitar and endorse it for you. So they sent me this thing with a beautiful lipstick pickup, but I'm just playing it acoustic right now. And this is a song that's on the album of mine called The Edge of Heaven. Gary Lucas plays mid-century Chinese pop. It's on the Knitting Factory label. It originally came out on a French government label, Label Bleu, on 9/11. I was there promoting it in Paris. And it's since had a lot of legs. I did a couple of sold-out shows at the Brooklyn Academy of Music with an ensemble featuring two fantastic singers from mainland China, Sally Kwok and Mo Haijin. And now I'm working with an amazing mainland Chinese singer here in New York, Feifei Yang. So this is the title song, The Songstress on the Edge of Heaven. It's from a film which you could see on YouTube if you're curious, called Angel on the Street, or Street Angel, directed by Yuan Muji from 1937. And it stars the young Zhou Xuan, who's probably the best known singer to come out of the Shanghai pop scene. And Shanghai pop, for those who don't know the history, just briefly, it's a beautiful efflorescence that melds Eastern and Western influences together, that flourished out of Shanghai, mainly in nightclubs and in films like these, musicals. And anyway, I could go on and rhapsodize about it, but I'll just play for you. Okay, a little taste of some Beefheart for you. Sure Enough and Yes I Do, which was played by a very young Ry Cooder on the very first Captain Beefheart album, Safe as Milk, which came out in 1967. And at this point, well, I'm going to pick up my Gibson J45 from 1941. It was recently backdated to that year because on the headstock it says only a good Gibson is good enough. And according to the authorities who know about such things, they just continued printing this legend on their guitars in 1941. So, while I tune up here, I wanted to thank especially these folks who've been so generous in such a fraught period. Denny Wally, my old buddy, going back to well, I met him. I met him with Don Van Vliet in 1975 on the Bongo Fury tour when it hit New York City. When it hit Syracuse, New York, I was still up there, and he was with me when we went out to get barbecued spare ribs with Don, and I told him I wanted to play with him. So we go way back, and we played together in the Magic Band for a couple of years. And he was exceedingly generous, so I want to shout out to Denny and Janet. Colin John Campbell, he's a repeat patron here. The Inconsistent Jukebox, another repeat patron. Mickey McMahon, thank you guys. David Stovall. Cherie Curtis came through. Rick Warren and Dave Pearson, who also was responsible for that nice poster graphic I posted on Facebook recently to announce the show today. So now, in honor of my mother, I want to do a rendition of a song. It was one of her favorite songs, and I recall her singing this to me as an infant. This is maybe the first song I became aware of. It's called Shrimp Boats. Shrimp Boats Are A-Comin', and it was most famously recorded by Joe Stafford. And it came out in 1951. It was a big hit for Columbia Records. Many artists have gone on to cover it, so anyway, that's for my mom there. That's for Adele Goldman. And lastly, I'm going to leave you with something I did with great Indian vocalist Najma Akhtar, who's based in London, and this is a song on our album Rishte called Naya Din. Here. Okay, well, that's it for today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and I'll be back on Tuesday, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I'll be here for as long as it takes, and I love to play for you. God bless you. I hope everybody's stays safe, and if you think of it, PayPal me. Anyway, thanks again for watching. See ya.